Imagine a juicy steak cooked just the way you want it, sitting on a table right in front of you. Your mouth starts watering right when you smell it. All you can think about is how it is going to taste. You're not thinking about what the animal was fed or how it was treated. Would you be enjoying the steak as much if you knew that the meat came from an industrial farm where the animals are given feed that makes them sick and can give them E. coli? Would you be as willing to eat the steak when you find out that the animal's high levels of E. coli makes you more likely to get it? Now think about that steak again. Does it still look the same to you as it did earlier? Is your mouth still watering? This is the effect that the North American industrial food system has when you realize that the methods they use and the processes that they follow not only harm the animals, but also harm our health as humans. When you think about eating meat, you do not think about what the animal ate or the effects the food had on the animal. In Canada, the majority of farms are industrial farms, meaning that they can use genetically modified organisms, or GMOs, as well as chemical pesticides and synthetic fertilizers. The chemicals that the farmers cover their crops in end up in the animal feed, which can make the animals sick and can kill them. A TED Talk by Burke Bear taught me that genetically modified seeds can give animals cancer. Not only is their food being genetically altered, the animals are also being forced to eat food that their bodies cannot properly digest. The body of a cow is suited to eat grass, but most industrial farmers feed their cows corn. Why would farmers feed their cows corn when it makes them sick? Is because corn is cheap. An objective many farmers have is to grow as much food as they can using as little land as possible at the cheapest price. Sadly, animals are not the only things being negatively affected. Not only are the animals suffering because of industrial farmers, but we as humans are too. I know it can be one thing if we get sick out of our own choices, but it becomes a bigger problem when the people we love can get extremely sick and even die. No parent wants to bury their child, but this was the case for Barbara Kowalczyk when her 2-year-old son passed away 12 days after eating a burger ridden with E. coli. I also recently found out that the water we drink is becoming infested with pesticides as they run off the farmlands that are using them to grow crops for animal feed into lakes and rivers. When the North American filter system misses a type of chemical that was in the pesticides, we can end up drinking it and get sick. Ultimately, people should not be getting sick from products that farmers use. Getting sick from the food you are eating is on no one's priority list, so it is time to make a change in what we are eating. First of all, we need to get rid of our sense of entitlement. We think that we deserve whatever we want whenever we want it. As Joel Hilche said, we expect life to happen on our schedule. There may be ways to grow animals faster, but it does not mean that these are the best ways to raise them. We need to realize that the fact that raising animals at a natural pace is healthier for them as well as ourselves. We should also only eat organic meat. This means that the animals were not fed pesticide-treated or genetically modified grains and were not given hormones or antibiotics. By eating organic meat, we can decrease our chances of getting foodborne illnesses and help keep the animals healthy. More non-organic meat products may be available right now, but as more and more people buy organic meat, farmers and companies will realize that customers want this kind of meat and will begin to raise animals according to organic standards. There is so much we can do to change the way that industrial farmers raise their animals, whether it be as simple as buying organic meat or more complex to changing our mindset. Even though it can be more convenient and cheaper to buy meat that comes from industrial farms, we need to stop doing it not only for the animals' sakes, but also for our health. Instead of taking such a large risk in eating meat ridden with E. coli, we should eat meat that has gone through the proper processes to decrease the amount of E. coli in the animal. Instead of imagining a steak that came from an animal that was fed food covered in pesticides and became sick with E. coli, imagine a steak that came from an animal that was treated ethically and properly, and a steak without any foodborne illnesses in it. As long as we change the type of meat we are eating, we can help support the ethical treatment of animals and live healthier lives. Thank you.